Good evening, everybody, or good night, or good morning, or good afternoon. I thought I'd show you how I'm getting along with my European countries folder. So, as you know, I've listed all the countries and territories, and I've been working on it, loading up really stamps from the arts and crafts section, so that there is at least one stamp from every country, but pages on others as well. And it just shows that more stamps from other countries come up more than others. Albania, we've seen a lot of these before, the Andorra ones. I did buy a set of them because I was short of Andorra. In fact, I didn't have any. But what I've done is I've tried to put the dates of the stamps as best as I can to go along with the stamp to add a little bit of interest. And also, as you know, I do a little bit of a spiel as an aide de memoire. This is a new edition. So pre-1945 Austria, I do have quite a number of pages and a lot of stamps on Austria post 1945. So this one is 1922 and it's got Österreich, Kronen, in the Germanic language. And then we go to Austria post 1945. So that really only leaves 1945 as a sheet. And as you can see, I've been doing these for quite a while, adding a little bit of extra information, etc., etc. But I've been dating them up as best I can. Yep, Belgium, we've seen enough of those over the months, haven't we? There is a lot of Belgium stamps come out. Bulgaria, fairly interesting because I do like the script. It's weird. It's strange. Nice Norton motorbike there. Got two of those. Possibly. Helicopter, so possibly airmail. The joy of diving. I think we all love a bit of diving. And, Beatles and the stuff like that. This was interesting. A blue-green Boris III. Not saying it's rare, but there's another one. Yeah. So they're fairly interesting, those types of stamps. It is in 1916 my earliest Bulgaria stamp. Now, the first issue of a stamp in Bulgaria was 1879, so I'm a long way short of that. But my notes do mention Boris III. Czechoslovakia. I think we've seen a lot of these. This is one of my favourites, the 1945 Pilot. Carry on, is there anything exceptional here? 1939, right on the cusp of war, just about to be invaded by the Germans. And then we go fast forward into the sort of Soviet era, not Soviet, but the Eastern Bloc era. So we have like almost warlike setting here again, 1954. And we also have this quite nice stamp from Czechoslovakia of two foreign nationals, Lenin and Stalin. That was 1953, on the death probably of Stalin. And some more stamps here with dates and interesting annotations. Česká republika, so the Czech Republic. My notes do say the first stamps issued were 93. These, I believe, are 93. But I've dated this at 96. I could be a little bit wrong, but I thought 96 was a good shout for that. Croatia, a World War II stamp. No other stamps of Croatia. Interesting. Cyprus, a nice early one. Again, from the arts and crafts. So you can pick up some nice little stamps hidden away, stuck almost in the bottom of the box. 1881 to 86, a half piastra from Chypre, Cyprus, Greece. There we are. Very nice. Denmark also there's a few early ones here somewhere, I think. Let's see if I can. Oh, here's one. And what I've been doing is been boxing them so I can recognise them a bit quicker. 1895, bit of a dent and a what you might call a bend, a U-bend there, but they're behind plastic now, so they're they're going to be safe. As keep them out of the sun. They'll last longer than me. 1895, so you'd say that's quite early. And here's an 1875, a 4 Ora. And a 1905, a 3 Ora Postfrim Marker. Postfrim Marker in the Danish language. As we all know, he went the Celtic Cross from 1922 to 46, so it lasted over quite a long time, according to my notes. I could be well wrong. The map is also very, very popular. Managed to get 4 of these in a row, like ducks. Some nice Finnish ones. I haven't put the AI camera on this to tell me a date, but it looks fairly old, doesn't it? Suomi is Finland. Some more oldies there. Coat of arms, really. Well, this coat of arms are pretty early. The French, I think, are beautiful stamps. We've seen these a lot. And I do have I have my, what you would call my delicate stamps, my favourite, my most precious, the precious, my dear, are in a special sort of album. I do love the coat of arms, and I'm trying to collect every one of those. Pre-war Germany. Yes, so cancels really. East Germany is making an appearance, so I'm splitting the Germans up. Also, I'm looking here at Hindenburg heads. They may actually this is pre-war Germany, so up to 1939. Probably those Hindenburg heads belong there, but I think what I'll do is I'll have a page covered full of them as they come up. I mean, I can go and buy 1,000 of them for 10p on eBay, but as they come up, as they appear, that's the most exciting part about making a collection out of something. These, as you know, I've been collecting. And then we go into modern Germany then with all the modern colours and the, the groovy stuff. Oh, groovy, aren't we? We don't have square jawed war criminals on stamps anymore. We have, telephones. Gibraltar, a couple of these have come up. That, unfortunately, is in a ruination, as is that. But for my purposes, I'm quite happy for that, and another one here, quite happy for that to appear in my collection. Greece, a couple of early ones in 1906 Olympics. That is a sweetie. No value at all. Here we are, 1906 Olympics, and the boxers. So 1896. So we get a little bit earlier. And here we have Incalculated Olympic Games. Not even sure what that is, but I know that the light is shining upon it. So we have people naked, wrestling as usual. That's what they do. More Greek stuff, charity tax. There's some nice stuff, Balkan War stamp. So you can get some, interesting stamps popping up out of nowhere. Hungary is another favourite of mine. You do get a lot of Hungarian stamps, and as a result, you can build up a big old collection. These, as you know, every time I got a pinch of stamps, at least one of these would come up. And though it was a bit disappointing in the beginning, when you start to put them all together, look at that for a cancel. Look at that absolute beauty Budapest there. Who'd not love it? 22nd November, 21. or it could be the, I don't know. I need to work that out. I never do, though. I say I must do these things, and I never really do. These are another one that would all fit nicely on one page, but I have tended to just to load them as they've come in. As you can see. And then as we carry on, there's a little bit of information here. There's many pages, and then suddenly they're all starting to come up and load up. I should really transfer these over there, but once I've hinged them up, there's another Budapest. Once I've hinged them, I don't want to touch them really, because it's another. Look at those two there. That's another habit of mine, is just to not be too fussy about stuff, just put them out there. And I've started again another line. That doesn't belong there. Iceland, I only have one stamp, and it says on it, Island, 5 krona, Italia. Yes, I've done some, I've got a lot of pages here, so I've done quite a bit of work dating these. Augustus Caesar, Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar again, Santa Giorgio, Donnanel Arte, Sibyl, the prophet Ezekiel, another prophet, Libyan Sibyl, all sorts of prophet Joel. So the castles are a good old favourite, aren't they? And also Victor Emmanuel. Again, we've got a lot of bands here. Tidy that up a little bit. 1870 stamp. You bob it along and you get bum, 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 bum. Wow. So that's always a Billy bonus. 1945 post-war, right on the edge of war. Democracy stamps, they were called, because they've had enough of war. Yugoslavia. Always some nice stuff going on in the Yugoslav stamp world. I think these are very exciting stamps. Very action. A lot of shadow, a lot of contrast going on in the artwork. Love those. The star dominating it, lifting up the picture. In an explosion, almost like a firework. I think it's fantastic. And then the one that's on there. One Liechtenstein. One Luxembourg. Malta, it goes on and on. Monaco, Olympic Games possibly. And here we have an early Monaco stamp. No, it's not early. Netherlands, another very, very, very heavily, every pinch you're getting the Netherlands stamp. Usually a Queen's Head. Nothing particularly old in there. Norway. And just one Noreg stamp. I'm not saying there's any early ones. I don't think there are early ones, but I like the smaller something. You get a lot of. It gives you more time and more space to write notes about them. Polska. Again, this looks like you bend them a little bit. So when I take the sheets out to load up another one, sometimes it bends, so I need to be more careful, Peter. Be more careful. Up to the P's. Can I have a P, please, Bob? And basically Polish are modern. They're modern stamps. Next we've got Portugal. Don't have many of those, but these were quite nice to be popping up. Pretty old, a nice overprint there. I think they did have trouble with their currency at one point around the war. And here we have these classic Knight on a Charging Steed stamps. That also is quite nice. Romana. Very happy to see the post horn there in Romania, even though all the way over there. And then also the period when Romina was used. Romina. I do have a few in there which I loaded up prior to deciding that I was going to collect Romina independently. One San Marino. There's only one San Marino. Slovenia. Just the one. Spain, as you can imagine, I mean, wow. Wow. Svedig, so I'm settling for two sides. Got some nice Swedish stamps. This is nice, early 187. That also is quite early. No, I don't know. Switzerland. William Tell is a lovely stamp. I like that one. And this is another William Tell, but from far 1909. Here's one on paper. So H&M Modern. And that is an unfinally moment. So I'm up to Switzerland, so I'm up to the S. Are there any Turkey, it says here? Now, I do have a lot of Turkey stamps, so it may be time to either start on Turkey or we're going to need a bigger folder. I think we may. We'll leave it there for now. Thanks for watching. 2 in 1 day. Have a great day. Have a great night. Bye for now.